Well, you okay, Lucas?
I'm good.
My camera guy he's a little bit nervous now because he's from Denmark and I am here in Sweden. I'm recording with Frida, one of the best dancers here in Sweden. Frida.
I wouldn't say that,
Yeah,
but thank
no,
you.
but
Okay.
come on. Why I wouldn't say you are one of the best
Because
dancers?
there's a
I never said the
lot of
best.
good
I said one of.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good dancers.
Yeah, and you are one of
Yeah.
them, yes?
I'm good at a lot of different things, but I'm not great at like one subject. Like if that makes sense. So I wouldn't say it in that sense.
I think I said it perfectly.
All right.
I
Thank you.
perfectly said it when I said Frida is one of the best dancers here in Sweden. Frida, tell me a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I'm from a small town that's like 3 hours south from Stockholm, 3 hours north from Gothenburg. Didn't start dancing until I was 16. I was doing circus and gymnastics and music and theater and all these other things because we didn't really have any dancing schools in my town. But I grew up with MTV and these German music channels and whatever. So I always liked dancing to Michael Jackson, Take That, Boyzone, whatever you could, reach and find in Sweden at that time. Yeah.
So as a child, you just love dancing.
I just loved everything that has to do with arts and culture or movement or entertainment or performing. Like, yeah.
So when did you decide to take it up now? So okay, I take it to another level. This is not this is not just plaything for me.
Well, I wanted to go to circus school when I was 16, like high school proper, like do my university studies and whatever, but my mom wouldn't let me. So I started dancing instead because I didn't want to go to school and just have normal school because it wasn't for me. I wanted always to be in some type of arts and performance type of vibe. So I just decided I need to do something with myself. So I started dancing because the dance school was closer to my town than the other school. So my mom would let me go to this one, but not the other one. So yeah.
And did you immediately decided on the type of music you would listen to when you are dancing, the type of dance? Because you typically go the Jamaican route, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, nowadays and from a long way back, but I started with musical theater. So I've done jazz, ballet, contemporary, tap, and all these subjects as well. But because I've always had a big interest in music in general, I've liked reggae music from young. Where I'm from, Motala, it's close to a small place called Skärblacka, and you have like a big Swedish reggae artist called Kaleba from there. So I have those influences, and Pep Passion, who's from Skåne. But then I had my dad listening to Dennis Brown, Garnet Silk, but he would listen to Beatles and ABBA and everything as well. And then just as I grew older, it became more hip hop, R&B, reggae, like with Fugees, and you had Peter Andre with Shabba Ranks doing Mysterious Girl, and then I started listening to Shabba Ranks a bit more because I just picked everything up growing up, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gravitated to what works at the time.
Yeah. And then when I got older and I finished my dance school education, I moved to Stockholm, and you would have more clubs and movements within the dancehall scene and reggae scene. So I would go clubbing everywhere, and I would force all my friends to go to dancehall and reggae clubs and not to the hip hop and R&B clubs because I just fell in love with it. And it's when David Rodigan came to Fasching in Stockholm, I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do anything with my life else than listen to reggae music and just have this type of vibe. And that changed me, and that was back in 2003.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
And you haven't looked back.
Well, not really. I still listen to other type of music as well. I still listen to hip hop and R&B and these type of music as well. But there's something special about Jamaican culture that just gravitates you to it.
Can you tell us what you said? There's something about Jamaican culture that brings you to it. Can you tell us what that thing is? If you can put a finger on it.
I really can't. I think...
Is it the food?
Well, yeah, it's definitely one of the things, but for me, it's always been the vibration of the party. Because before I even was able to go to a party, I would watch on, and there was this page on internet called Peppa Pot, and you would watch the QQ music videos and the Beanie Man music videos, and I would just get attracted to the way everyone danced, like young to old, and you're in your own community environment. It's not the whole MTV flashy. It's just people enjoying life, and I've always gravitated more to that type of vibe in general than the commercial vibe. And I think it has to do with me coming from my circus and gymnastic background as well, where you can just entertain and be free and have fun. Whereas when I went into musical theater, I always have to be a specific character and follow a specific script and do these things, and I kind of felt brainwashed after a while, just like doing this type of thing. So when I went to musical theater school, and because I went to London as well and studied musical theater, going clubbing would be my freedom, where I could just vibe and be myself. And I don't think there's a lot of cultures in general where you can be like that, when you can just be yourself and they love you for who you are. And Jamaicans are really open-minded. If you're a nice person, that's enough, if it makes sense.
It makes a little sense. But you mentioned you have been to school in England, yes?
Yes.
Dance theatre?
Yeah, musical theater as well.
Musical theatre. And also you studied here.
Yeah.
Dancing. Has anyone ever look at you, knowing your background, and be like, Frida, you study all that. Why are you really going to Jamaica? Why are you following up this bush music?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What was your response when somebody criticized the culture of Jamaica to an educated girl?
Well, I always say, like, I just like what I like, and I can't, if I'm attracted to something, like, if I like a certain type of food, I'm not going to stop eating that because somebody else has an opinion about it whatsoever. If I like it, I like it.
Okay.
And it's the same with the culture, like, and the people.
Okay. When was the first time you went to Jamaica?
It was in 2017, and it was with Lanka specifically, because Lanka is one of them people that I used to watch on Rata TV and Hype TV. So when he started touring over here, I started taking all these workshops in Denmark, and because I had my huge student loan from living in London, I couldn't afford to go to Jamaica before that. But then I saved up my money and made sure I could go to Jamaica with Lanka and experience maybe a little bit of what I used to watch on YouTube and Rata TV and DVDs. Like, I would get DVDs in the Wimbledon Market in London and just sit and watch it.
Was it what you expected?
Well, yes and no, because what I was watching was from 2003 and forward, and the culture is not the same these years as 2017, but I was just happy being in Jamaica.
Where did you go?
I went, like, where did I not go? I went everywhere with Lanka. We went everywhere in Kingston. We went East Side, and went Blue Lagoon. We went Bob Marley Cave, but it's not called that, Frenchman Cove. Yeah.
You went everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. I haven't been to Negril and Mandeville and these places, but I've been more time to the east side of Jamaica.
Is the dancing the same in real life when you're watching performance? Is it different than watching it on the laptop or on the TV?
Yeah, definitely, because you get to feel the vibe for real, and the frequency and the sound system bass, like, just like the bass when it hits you when you come into the party, and like your heart even vibrates because the sound is like so special. How you build your entire sound system compared to over here, everything is just different. And before, back in the day, you would have more the video light cameramen up everywhere, and you still have that, but it's a different, I don't know, it's just different, but it's 10 years later as well, so nothing stays the same. But I just enjoyed, like, when I went to Jamaica the first time at the parties, I didn't even dance. I was just watching everyone and just observing and
Are you dancing now when you go to Jamaica?
Yeah. If it depends, because I think it's really important as a European person as well, to not take a Jamaican person spotlight, because it's not my spotlight, it's not my video light. I have my life and my work environment here in Europe, so I'm not going to take a spotlight from somebody else instead. But if you get invited into the spotlight, that's a different thing. Like, I'll stand and dance behind Lenka if he invites me to dance, but I'm not going to disrespect the culture and just go out there. It doesn't really work like that.
Okay. Have you seen what type of dance do you do per se? You're a twerker, yeah?
I'm a
Twerk.
well, I do a bit. I do.
The...
Yeah, I shake my booty a little bit, but I like doing everything. I like doing old school dancing, and I like doing aggressive guns. I like doing just party moves, like breadfruit and just rich look, and like I like everything. I just like music, and if music is good, it makes me move. And it doesn't matter what type of feeling it is. I think if you only do booty shaking, it really limits so much fun at the party. And the booty shaking part is so little at the party as well compared to,
the actual thing. Have you ever met a person, say a female from Europe? You see them online all the time, they're dancing and so. You ever meet one of them in Jamaica?
Yeah. Like when I went down Jamaica this summer, I specifically went on Joanna on her tour as well, because she's doing really good.
Who's Joanna?
She's a big twerker. I don't even want to say twerker. I don't like this
dancer.
word.
Use dancer.
Yeah, she's a big dancer from Sweden. Like, not just, she's a big dancer like studio wise. She has a lot of students, but she has a huge crowd on Instagram as well. But I just like her vibe and the way she organized things. So when she's like, yeah, I'm going to have this tour and we're going to go and do this, I just signed up for that. So same way as I went with Lanka and to experience Jamaica, I went on her tour because she gives a different type of vibe as well. And she's a really big dancer. And she's respected in both Jamaica and in Europe and all over the world as well.
When you go on tours, explain a typical day on a tour. Do you just tour the island, seeing the spots, or do you actually teach dancing, or you go to a dance class of a native Jamaican? Explain a tour to me. What does it entail?
It depends.
Is it just beach and sand?
No. It depends on the person organizing the tour as well. So, like the one I went with Joanna now, she had 1 week with just advanced classes. So you had to be advanced dancers to apply to be on this tour. So we were like 10 people from all over the world, and we took classes with just Jamaicans. I would never teach in Jamaica myself. That's another way, like, why would I go to Jamaica and teach? It don't make sense. I'm there to learn and embrace the culture, not the other way around. So it could be anything from just like getting up, going to just a corner shop, getting some avocado and plantain and do breakfast, and you just chill for a while, and then you go and do class, and then maybe you go party, and maybe the next day you just go Blue Hole and chill there all day, and like every day is different. And so I'm not really sure how to explain it, but it's not just like take class or just go beach. It's trying to experience like a bit of everything of Jamaica at the same time.
Were you, because there's a stigmatism attached to Jamaica that we are violent and you might end up die. Have you ever felt threatened? Have you ever felt scared while there?
Well, I'm half Indian, and in India we have a lot of poverty. And after being in India, I don't think I'm scared anywhere else in the world, really. Like, because I don't know, because in Jamaica as well, when you come as a tourist, they appreciate you because you come there to appreciate the country. Whereas in India, you'll have people looking at you in a different way because there's so much people in India, and the poverty is like crazy. I've never seen poverty in a different way. So I don't know. And even if Indian people are friendly, I'm not going to disrespect my own people. It's just a more conservative way of living as well, whereas Jamaicans are more open-minded, I think.
Yeah, I always tell people a white person is more protected in Jamaica than the black.
Yeah,
it's a fact. I'm sad to say, but it is true. It is true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you won't get robbed, because if you go in a back alley to buy some weed, they will take your money and just, but you will live, you will come out.
Yeah.
Me, in a back alley, they might not find me again. That's the fact. You understand? And I will not lie to myself, nor will I lie to you. Okay, that's enough on Jamaican point. Let's come over here in Europe. Because my first interview, he spoke about the difference between Sweden and Danish culture, Denmark and Sweden. And his point, my friend's point was, and I do respect his point, I love that he keep it honest. Swedish people, Swedish persons, they will lie to you to your face, tell you you are a nice person, yada yada yada, talk to me, maybe on an interview, but they're not really fucking with you like that.
Yeah.
And Jamaicans, we don't like that. If we are with you, if I am with you, Lucas, and I say, Lucas, you are my guy, then he's my guy behind me, in front of me, when I'm not there, when I'm there, 10 years from now, he's still my guy. You find that to be true?
Definitely. And in Sweden, we even have like a specific word for it. You can't even translate it because this word is not even used in any other language, and it's called lagom. You can't be too much, and you can't have too little. And even if you go to like a coffee shop and they ask you, oh, how much sugar you want, 1 or 2? Oh, I just want just enough. That's like the closest translation I can have to it. And I think us as people, we're kind of like that, and that's why I won't say I don't like you if I don't like you, whereas other cultures will be just like, I don't like you and you'll still be fine. But if I do that to a Swedish person, it will be a conflict. And then I don't even know how to explain it. We're so protected of our own image that we don't want to stick out. Yeah. We don't want to stick out, but we don't want to be too little as well. So we just adapt to everyone else in general.
But that's it, you don't adapt. You pretend to adapt.
Yeah, you
if
pretend
I am
to.
really
No, it's
understanding
true.
you
pretend. You pretend to adapt. I agree.
To adapt.
Yeah.
So right now you might pretending to be enjoying this interview.
Yeah, definitely. But
and I wouldn't know, yeah?
No, you would. I
Yeah, I would know. But you have years of mastering the craft. Yeah? So you might really finding me disgusting, but you're
I don't
with
have
a
a poker face, so you would know if I didn't like you.
Anyway, I was just saying that just to say, but yo, it's a weird thing, because without my friend saying it, I would never have seen it. I would never have, and that is the reason I try not to do too much research for my interviews. We just talk, because there was a gem in the conversation I had with him.
Definitely.
I can come to Sweden, yes, go around with a camera, take all pictures of the scenery, but I cannot know the people. Only if you are living here, you can know the people.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's a fact. And tourists tend to be treated different than if you are living here, because they look at me today, you're a tourist, you will be out here soon. So they do smile with me, although that could be a fake smile. I don't know, but I don't care, because I'm only doing my transaction now, and after 2 minutes I'm gone. But it's different when you have to live here, when you have to see the same person every day. So you know if that person is like a little bit sour towards you or not.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of the Danish, the Denmarks, those fuckers from across the bridge?
Well, I like Danish people. I think they're always fun and open-minded, and they're more like, if I sit on the train, people will talk to me on the train, and ask you how was your day and like these type of things. In Sweden, it will happen, but it doesn't really happen. But just in general, like when you go to Copenhagen, what I love, you always see people with their sound system on their Christiania bikes, and they're just enjoying life. And what we kind of talked about before as well, like these island vibes. I think people who live on islands.
Explain island vibes.
People who live on islands, they just have a different mentality in general about how they enjoy life compared to people like Sweden. It's a huge country, but we're not a lot of people. Yeah.
So you're not too rocking with Danish people?
No, I like Danish people. I love Denmark.
There you go again with that. You understand? How can I trust that that thing? Cause Sweden.
I love Denmark.
Okay,